Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the noon news from Montana's news leader.
Good afternoon, and thanks so much for tuning in today. I'm Aja Goare. After filing indictments against 13 Russians for allegedly meddling in the U.S. elections, Special Counsel Robert Mueller announced today a new defendant. Attorney Alex Vanderswan is being charged for allegedly lying to investigators. Charging documents state the lawyer lied about his interactions with former Trump campaign aide Rick Gates in September of 2016. Gates, who is facing an 8-count indictment on charges of fraud and money laundering, is expected to take a plea deal. The special counsel's probe into potential ties between the Trump campaign and the Russian government has already yielded 13 indictments. The Russian defendants are accused of breaking U.S. laws to interfere with the 2016 presidential election. President Trump said he is vindicated by Friday's indictments. In the wake of the mass shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Florida, students there are becoming the new faces of gun control. CBS's Kenneth Craig has more.
100 kids standing in the state capitol building of Tallahassee is a very symbolic message.
Students at the Florida high school devastated by last week's mass shooting say they won't rest until they get change. About 100 of them are heading to Florida's Capitol today to talk to lawmakers about gun control.
We are the future. We are the ones that are going to make the change. You know, if Congress or the state or anyone doesn't want to do anything, you know what? We're going to do it.
The students will also take part in the first march of the Never Again movement tomorrow, and there are plans for 2 nationwide rallies. They want a ban on assault rifles and stricter gun control for those who have a history of mental illness.
We had to seize that opportunity so we can ensure that there's going to be change in the future.
But their fight won't be easy in Florida, where gun laws are some of the least restrictive in the country. Even the family who took in the suspect, 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz, after his mother died in November, say they knew he had an assault rifle and other guns, but did not have concerns he would use them for anything but hunting, even though he showed signs of depression.
I knew he had 5 or 6. I don't know what kind they were. It didn't matter what kind of guns they were. I have guns. I respect guns as long as they're handled properly. It's his right to own a gun.
Students at the high school Cruz attacked are attending funerals for their classmates this week as they prepare to resume classes next Tuesday. Kenneth Craig, CBS News.
And a new poll shows Americans are roughly divided when it comes to banning assault rifles. Here in Montana, a Darby High School student is in custody after fellow students say he made threatening social media posts that reference last week's deadly shooting in Florida. 18-year-old senior McLean Kaiser faces a felony assault with a weapon charge. Kaiser is accused of posting a threat, pushing concerned parents to report him to Darby school administrators. School administrators say they took the report seriously and encourage everyone to say something if they see something of concern. Kaiser is being held at the Ravalli County Jail without bond. An investigation is underway in Madison County where 2 people were injured in a shooting at a bar. Law enforcement was called to the Sportsman's Lodge in Ennis for a report of a shooting Monday afternoon. Officers identified a 48-year-old Ennis man as the victim of the shooting. A 57-year-old McAllister man was detained and treated for multiple injuries. Both men were transported to the hospital in unknown condition. A motive for the shooting is unclear. Billings firefighters battled frigid temps today to save 2 dogs from an apartment fire. Occupants of the building on North 22nd Street were evacuated around 9 this morning. Fire crews removed 2 small dogs and saved them by giving them oxygen. The firefighters eventually knocked down the blaze. The cause remains under investigation. Glacier National Park officials are ready to draw up plans to rebuild the Sperry Chalet after the iconic building was destroyed in a wildfire last summer. The Sprague fire wasn't even fully extinguished, that is, before discussions got underway about plans to rebuild. The GNP Conservancy has already raised more than $127,000 for the project. Park leaders plan to present preliminary concepts next week. The community is encouraged to provide input at several upcoming meetings starting February 28th. A state of emergency is in effect on the Blackfeet Indian Reservation where winter conditions just won't let up. The Blackfeet Tribal Business Council activated an incident command center Monday. The community is hurting for resources. The tribe is trying to work with government and non-government entities to provide key necessities like plowing and medical emergencies. Tribal leaders are asking the community to be patient. Hart Butte schools are in session today after being shut down for 7 days due to extreme weather. The area received 6 feet of snow. School superintendent says help has arrived and workers are trying to clear the roads. Superintendent says the weather has not only impacted students, but the community. Meanwhile, Billings School District 2, the state's largest district, will reopen again tomorrow after taking a rare snow day today. Before we get to break, U.S. Senator Jon Tester plans to pay his filing fee today to officially run for re-election, potentially as the only Democrat on the ticket. 4 Republicans have filed to run for the party's nomination to challenge Tester this fall. So far, Tester has no competition from within his own party. He's running for a 3rd consecutive term in the U.S. Senate. Montana's Libertarian chair says a few within his party are considering a run, but he's declined to say names. The deadline for candidate filing is March 12th. Still ahead on the noon news, a famous fried chicken fast food joint loses the C in KFC. We'll tell you about the chicken shortage next. First, Ed has weather. Stay with us.
You're watching MTN News with Aja Goare, Storm Tracker weather with Ed McIntosh, and Farm and Ranch